go with this ink because it does, it's water still. It wants to, just because we're using it straight out of the bottle doesn't mean that it doesn't want to start like bleeding and all that stuff. All right, let's go. Just kind of map out. See that? It's running around a little bit. It's running around a little bit. It is running around a little bit. Let's go right here. Make that ball one shape. Good. So we're kind of switching. I'm switching layers. I'm switching steps. This is usually a step that comes later on. The last step or the second to last step, you could see, I have to be careful. You see those puddles there? I definitely want that to be cleaned up. I don't want them to spread too much. So this is our little vacuum cleaner here. There we go. It's our little vacuum cleaner there. I don't want big puddles. I don't want big puddles. All right, I saw something here. Like that there. Let's connect it a little bit. It's a little more flexibility with ink than watercolor in terms of like where you start painting and not painting. I'm gonna grab this little shop towel here so I could work on top. Let's see there. Let's see. I've got a little bit of, yeah, this area right there. Let's get that a little neater. There's fuzziness there, so I'm okay with that kind of, maybe just a little bit. Just a little bit of a stain there. Even in here, this takes a little longer to dry, so this is where the head and the fuzzy area of the P meet. So a little bit of bleeding is okay. Even in here, I was thinking about that. So I switched to a smaller brush to be a little more accurate, and this is my brush to clean up and soften some of the edges if I want to do that. I'm not going to do that too much though. So I could do that forever, forever and ever. Oh. And I'm only working on the point. With the point of the brush. And after, later on, I will move to using my pen. But I want to establish these larger blocks. See, just being careful, really, really careful. To clarify and create sections. So I'm not adding too much, but a little bit, just a little bit. Oh my goodness. Casey. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Casey, so much. Hey, hey, hey. Um, thank you so much, Casey. We have. Hi, amazing fan. How are you? I am drawing a very strange bee. If you could see that in the left corner, I started this yesterday. It's an odd look. I don't even know. I found all these bees. I have a bee book from the Audubon Society, and this bee is not in it. I found this bee on a like one of these like services, uh, stock or whatever services, and it's so weird looking that I love it. So I'm doing a little bit of working, skipping a step, switching steps. This is usually like the last step, but I'm doing this because the way I work with pen and ink, I use a lot of these. I use the water stains and I draw with the water stains. So first I do the pencil and it looks normal. And then I go ahead and do a wash, or actually do a simple pen line, then do a wash. And wherever like all these funky little water stains fall, I kind of work with them and create texture. So it's kind of fun. Kind of fun. I'm Casey. So thank you so much. I know you have to do your thing, and I know I'll see you later on after class. Yeah. So right after this, I have class. Yeah. Um, we got to talk because I think this is kind of, it's not on you, but it's on a certain someone that joins your chat who just gives the most painful puns, and now it's like an earworm. I don't know if it's called a like is it a pun worm where I can't stop punning. I can't stop punning. It's impossible. It's impossible. I can't I can't do it. I'm punning all the time now. So what did you do today in your morning stream? Right? Are you doing two today? I redid some of my little studied hairstyles. Yeah, drawing people is scary. It's scary. I tried it the other week, but the problem is that where I work, we draw people, but they don't have clothes on. So that's what I'm used to drawing is people without clothes on, and I don't think I could pull this off if I want to keep this, kind of PG rated stream. They do have hair. Yeah, it's so I don't do. Unfortunately, I don't draw people. I tried it once, and believe it or not, my OBS crashed. So clearly, that was a no. OBS was like, no. But thank you. Thank you so much, Casey. Let's see. Are you? Did I check? Oh, that'll be cool. I have a timer I use. You might love it. I don't know if you're thinking of doing like time poses or anything like that, but if you are, I will, oh, okay. If you are going to do like kind of time poses, absolutely come and I have a timer that's fantastic. That is basically my life, is timing models and helping people on Zoom and email. We have a lot of people that still have problems using email, and it is entertaining. I know it is. I actually eliminated some things I got rid of the alerts I was using, and I'm like, I'm just gonna use like a kind of like an alert template. So the alert you saw was from a Stream Elements template. However, it actually was a kitten. It was a pirate kitten, and I was like, okay, this is really adorable, but I'm gonna just change it a little bit. I know. Yeah, it's called RH Timer, and it is really cool. You could use it for other things than just using like stopwatches and things like that. You could do command keys. So I have a command key for like all the different times, 1 minute poses, 2 minute poses, 3 minute poses. You could do loops. So I have like in our class, we do 10 1 minute poses. That's how we start off, right? So you could do like a 1M loop 10 and and the 1 minute will loop 10 times. So you don't have to keep changing it or worrying about it. Who is that on at my door? If you don't know, folks, I live in an apartment. It's a 1-bedroom apartment. It's in a busy area. So a lot of life happens. A lot of life happens. So tomorrow, I think the super's coming. So the super's going to show up in the middle of my stream tomorrow, my class. It's getting right in there. It's hard because this bee is, black, or at least we think it's black. We look at it as being black, the color. But, black isn't really black, right? All right, so I have this form here, but I'm going to add, this is going to be all texture. And then we have to capture a lot of the texture. This is the different areas, I'm calling it fuzz because I don't know if it's hair. I don't know if it's fur. I have no idea. I do draw and paint animals, but I don't know a lot about them. I try to find out certain things. There's what's the thing that I learned? I'll show you the one thing I learned about bees, and that's it. That's as expert as I come. And I think I even messed that up. Nope. Look at that. I messed up my own commands. Didn't even remember my own commands. There it is. Can we go? Yeah? Are you serious? What are you talking about? I made that command. Oh, well. I made that command. Did I do a short for the command? I'm going to fill the chat with mistaken commands. No! Ah. Oh. All right, so it's none of these. It is none of those. Okay, it's none of those. Just so you know, those... Wait, I'm going to try one more time. Is it animal? Is it animal? Did I keep it generic? There we go. Oh my goodness, I hit it. Finally, I just kept it as generic animal so I wouldn't have to change it every single week. There we go. Honeybees communicate through interpretive dance. Nestmates waggle dance to each other where to find the best food. That is a hilarious tip or a trivia point, whatever. Yeah. Different types of wings not too long ago. The VOD will go up on my YouTube soon. Awesome. I did that yesterday or this morning. I shared yesterday's stream to YouTube. It's pretty cool how you could do that from Twitch. What's interesting to me is that I was talking about yesterday briefly is that bug wings and bee wings aren't arms. Like with birds, they're the arm. So no, I didn't do a cross stream. I just did the highlights in Twitch and then exported it to YouTube. Now, I heard that you're not supposed to really do the cross streams. I don't know. Not supposed to cross the streams. Yeah, I was thinking about doing it, but then I don't know who to listen to, Casey. I don't know who to listen to. I've heard it's not good to cross stream. It is good to cross stream. I have no idea. I got the little plugin. We'll see. But it is easy to share both YouTube videos to YouTube and also doing the shorts, even though it's a little like obscure what you have to click on in Twitch. But they do make it easy to do the shorts. Yeah. That's what I heard. So I forget the name of the plugin for OBS that I used, that I downloaded, and now I haven't used it. I can stream on YouTube, so I was considering doing both. And I think the chat, for me at least, I see chat from both, which I guess could be confusing for, if you're on Twitch, you're like, who's talking here? Who is talking? Anyway, speaking of talking, let this completely dry. It's drying pretty quickly, and then I'm just stalling because I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with the rest of the body. Yeah, but even in, can they be shown separately? Because I think in the OBS chat, from what I understand, it all shows up at the same time. So you're talking to people, but you don't know if you're talking to people from Twitch or from YouTube. So that's a little, I don't know, I guess there's probably a way to work around that. Let's see. Oh, this dries quickly. Good. I had an ink wash yesterday that took almost half an hour to dry. So I was talking about manga for 30 minutes. Exactly. I'm going to untape this. Not that I was holding it very well, but for the brushwork, I needed to tape down. So I'm using some washi tape. Please don't tear washi tape. I learned how to pull tape from a watercolor painting. So even if it's not taped down. See, I told you. All right, Casey, thanks a lot. We'll talk soon. I'll pop into your Discord later today. Thanks again. Okay, so the supposedly correct way to pull tape off of your artwork is once you get it a little bit off, you pull straight away, like 90 degrees off of the edge or the tape edge or whatever. So this is going to go this way. I am telling you because I cried so many times pulling off and tearing my paper. And so far, this has been pretty foolproof. So far, this has been pretty foolproof. There we go. Done, done, done. Because I want to be able to move my drawing around. All right, I'm going to get rid of the reference because it's huge. It's taking up a lot of space, and I don't want to rely on it anymore. I just wanted to use it for, for the blacks, the whatever, darks. Let's see. So I used, this is the ink that we're using today. It's a Mont Blanc toffee, really nice ink. Let's see if I could get it. There we go. It's a really great ink. It's not expensive like a Mont Blanc pen, which are quite expensive and a pen that I will probably very likely absolutely never own, but you know, here it is. And this is our pen. It's a Pelikan M200. It's one of my absolute favorite pens. I know it shows that it's wait, or which way we go? There we go. Not sure if it's going to. So it looks cool. It's plated, but it's a steel nib. So it's like semi-soft, and it's basically the cheapest, you know, fountain penish pen that they have. You can pull. This is like a twist, so you could dip the pen into the ink and pull it in to piston fill, they call it. So it's kind of cool because then you don't have to rely on cartridges, and you could use all kinds of inks, which I like to use. I very much like to use. Okay, I want to work. I don't want to work on this area for some reason. I want to work here on this like fuzzy region over here. So I am going to go first on the edge. And I'm just going to do another kind of like janky line there. It's my favorite part because I don't actually have to I should change my, here we go. Let's get rid of that. Now what we're going to do is I am going to just quickly, for this detail areas, I'm going to swap my, so let's get over here. I'm going to swap my lens to get something a little closer. And hopefully I find my, yes, no, yes, no. Yes, there we go. No, here we go. Yes. I guess not. I can't find the lens cap. There it is. It's on the floor. So I'm going to change to a lens that is a little, bring this a little closer. Excuse me, excuse my head, excuse my face, all those things. Let's get that in there. This way we can see the details, because I know you all want to see that, and if not, it's going to be me talking and looking at basically nothing. So just go here, grab it. It's pretty quick. All right. I've gotten pretty good at this. Famous last words. I know I should have a zoom lens, but I like these because they're a little more, I don't know, they look better than those kit lenses. I like photography probably too much. There we go, nice and close so you could see the hatching. That's the best part of it. I'm just gonna go in and do a whole bunch of layers, this whole fuzzy part. Not too much. Just try to create variety. Get that first hair. This is the lightest one, I think, of the three areas. So that's one area around the shoulder, another area, and like I pretend this is the scapula and this is the rest of the back. That's the only way I can think of these things in terms of human anatomy that I actually know a whole bunch of, because oh my goodness, I assisted an anatomy teacher for artists. Oh my goodness, this person has forgotten more about the body than I will ever know. Just like, I mean, forget about Wikipedia. He's memorized entire anatomy books. So that's how I read things. I try to read things in terms of how they look on people. And I'm just working on the reverse side. Oh, thank you, amazing fan. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. I know it's a lot slower than watching Casey because she rocks at the Photoshop. So leave that there so it shows like some separation. I made this head. It's just impossible to not look like a robot. I don't know. It's just so wild looking. This is a honeybee. I don't know if it's like an African honeybee or a Western honeybee. I just know that it is a honeybee, and it is. I just thought it was so wild looking. Nature is wild. Fountain pen ink is interesting. This happens with watercolor too. Now you get something out of the bottle and it looks like this, and then you put it on paper and then you add water to it and it looks like that. I find these things interesting. Get this, same thing happens with blacks. When you buy a black ink from different makers, different companies, sometimes they have different blacks. There's one black, it's so wild. When you add water to it, it has like a greenish glow to it, which, I mean, people probably find that awful, but I think it's awesome. They're like, oh my goodness, that's not what I wanted. That's one of the reasons I like using fountain pens. Let's create a lot of texture in this bee. Yeah. Get that to separate from here. And let's definitely want to get this shoulder out. Longer lines here. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Keep going. The flower, this like abstract looking flower, I'm going to leave until later on. Haven't decided what I want to do with it. I may actually add more ink, like darker inks in here. Not sure. Because yesterday I did the drawing and I was like, I had to like erase this whole thing. Because the way I had it drawn, I had all these like shapes within shapes and getting really geometric with it. And right away, it was becoming clear that the whole drawing was like this one really confusing thing. There's, everything, it was just one big mass. And they were competing with each other. So I obviously want the bead to have the, the focus. So I tried to make this more abstract. So I'm adding as little as possible here, where I can. Don't think I wanted to do that. I don't think I wanted to do that. No, maybe I did. Let's see. Maybe I did. Did I? Did I not? There's no Command Z. There's no Command Z. Oh my goodness. Please tell me. All right, whenever I do that and I'm not sure what I made a mistake or not, I just move on to something else and try not to think about it. Let's try not to think about it. Let's forget that I may have botched an entire area. All right. All right, the body. These spaces that I left in between, that's going to be fuzz. Right there. Some fuzziness. I don't know where those, we have these like separations here. So some kind of uneven hatching going on. All of these layers, pen work is why not everybody likes to do it, or they do really simplified illustration work, because it takes a lot of patience for sure. Just mess that up too. Let's add a little bit of water. So abstract, this close. This is one of those drawings that you look at from across the room, and it makes more sense than when you're looking at it up close, but then you kind of want to look at it up close. Or I think so. Maybe. Could be. I think. Maybe. Like my nephew says, he doesn't say yes, he says maybe. Just like that. Maybe. And that means yes. Do you want ice cream? Maybe. It's very it's gonna have commitment issues later on. I have a feeling. I won't tell my sister-in-law that. But I think he's gonna have commitment issues. Maybe this drawing will turn out okay. Okay. Going with darker hatch lines. Because this has to be really, really dark. Ooh. So I went a little crazy with. I've been talking about Pluto, the Netflix series, and that I got the the manga, which is awesome. But then, I go and read in bed, and my partner turns off the lights because they have a Kindle. So like, who cares about your paper? I have a Kindle. Too bad. So I had to get the manga on. I have a Nook because I'm not crazy about the other thing. So I have a Nook, and let's get this right here. And I downloaded the manga on the Nook. So now I'm watching, but then I still read the paper one when I can, when I'm like, having breakfast or whatever. So I'm reading it, and I'm watching the anime at the same time. So I'm reading the story, I'm watching the show, all for the first time together, and then switching to the tablet when I go to bed. It's pretty funny. I think so, at least. Bring this out. Let's see. Let's get more. Do the contour here. Let's get that contour there. Add a little bit to emphasize the roundness of the sphere. That ball joint there. And I really exaggerated that as a ball. Looking at it mechanically. This is like a science fiction. I don't know if it's a horror show or post-apocalyptic, something from Fallout. Maybe I shouldn't have watched Fallout before doing this. Maybe I should not have watched Fallout before doing this bee drawing. Alright. So I'm trying to knock back a lot of the white here, especially in the head, because the head isn't black, solid black and white like that. Here, down in this like nose area. I don't know what you call it. I'm going to have contrast in here because of the flower, which I haven't exactly decided how I'm going to do that, but I do have contrast with the flower. Maybe I will hatch on the head, but I'll just do more of these abstract lines within lines on the flower. I don't want the flower to actually look like a flower. I don't care. It's not a botanical piece, painting. Oh, one day I'll do that. That would be fun. I like the geometry in flowers and plants. When I was starting to draw again, I started learning how to draw again, and so I what's going on here? There we go. When I started drawing again, like 6-7 years ago, one of the things I did was that during breakfast, I would draw from one of my plants of pothos that I had at the time. My mother-in-law has it now because I'm really bad with plants. But I would just, stare at it and draw the one line, and I did that every single day. So I grew to love that plant by doing that. It's pretty interesting how that happens. You pick a subject, and the more you spend time with it, the more you learn to, love it, respect it. So we got that little way so far. Let's see a little more of these lines in here, especially in here. Okay, and then get rid. There's always little white spots left here. Try it out. Get rid of those. Still see some. Okay. All right, where else to go? This is such a puzzle. This drawing is such a puzzle. Right? Goodness. What did I get myself into? I lost that part of the leg. Let's see that right there. I had lost that whole part of the leg. Very chill. Very chill. We're very chill today. Hatching can be so slow. Especially like this where it's not really kind of going. It's a little more expressive. And when I mean expressive, like abstract expressive, not that other artists aren't expressing themselves. That would be rude. That would be rude to say. That would be rude to say. All right. Yes, I have to define this a little bit. Defining until this works. So contours. And that whole space in between these like segments of the body. Just redefine them. It takes a lot longer than watercolor paintings. It takes a lot longer than watercolor paintings, my goodness. So this thing had to be. Did I botch this? It looks like I did. There we go. I think I saved it. I think I saved it. Maybe. Maybe saved it, maybe not. Let's get another. Should I do here? Should I add another darken? I think so. I think this whole area should be dark and then leaving this whole, all that texture here. And then adding, you see how I had all this like funky texture here, that big watermark. So I'd go right from here into here with a solid flat stain of ink. Okay, so set at least go. Okay. Bring that out a little bit. Leave this here and I'll add some texture. Just add a little tiny, this is gonna be tricky, a little tiny bit of water right there. Let that bleed a little bit. I'll bleed a little bit. It's okay. Does it bring it out? Let's do the same thing over here before it dries. Right there. Water on the bottom here so it bleeds this way. I like doing these drawings that if you do it 10 times, you'll have 10 different drawings. And there's a good chance a lot of them are going to turn out bad. This may be one of them. But there's like interesting things that happen. So these interesting things that happen. I need to patch more in here. There's areas that you want contrast, and there's areas where there's too much contrast. And this is one of those areas because it's not dark to light. It's dark one color to middle another color. This is more that dark sepia blue black, and this is supposed to be more of the yellow. And unfortunately, you have to think that way sometimes. So you have a difference in form, in color, and shading. It's something, unfortunately, sometimes you have to think about, and it gets confusing. As you can tell that I'm confused. All right, let's see. Let's go. Let's just do a little bit of cross, going across a little bit. Go across a little bit. Goes there, and that goes a little further inside there. It's a little more believable. In a little bit, I'll grab the other. We'll switch the lens again and see how we're doing, how we did. How did we do? If it turns out bad, how did I do? If it turns out good, it'll be how did we do? All right, I won't do that to you. I won't do that to you. So if it turns out good, how did we do? Look at what we did. Otherwise, it's going to be, how did I do? Hope all is good. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. I love those. I love the emotes.